Welcome to Factorio. Let's start automating. My name is Niklas and this is episode 6 of our Let's Play. Let's look at our beautiful little base. It hasn't increased much. Well, this hasn't increased since last time, but last time it increased a bit, but we also took care of some biters out here. And this episode, first, let's start the science. Let's keep the science rolling. It's important. We have all of these things that we can still do, so we should still do that. I think that let's take the military, because I have a plan. We are going to need a lot of grenades soon, I think. Oh, that's fast. Okay, so this episode will be about scaling up, because what we have now is we have this base, and it would be very tempting to just continue this line and continue this line and this line and start building more. But it doesn't work like that. We have to, like we did with our first couple of assemblers, then we just scrap those to build this. We're going to have to do the same thing, scrapping this in order to build the real base. And that's going to be interesting. So I will be starting a new science. Stronger explosives is super nice, because that helps us with blowing up trees. While we're just waiting, maybe I can just take some iron and some coal somewhere. Oof, wouldn't that be nice if I could put that here? I'm gonna hack my way through this. See, that would be even better, wouldn't it? Here, and I will take some inputs, and outputs, there. And we need to put it into a box here, and this will now make the grenades we need. So we'll need to make grenades, and we don't want to make all of them, but we certainly do need to make, let's call it 200. Yep, I can just do that one. I can also do that one. Okay, so that's something while we talk about it. So we are going to make our real base, and I need to sort of design at this point how big we want to make it. And my baseline figures are basically, I want 6 lanes or 4 lanes. It's going to be a main bus. I want 4 lanes of iron. Yep. We can actually just illustrate it here. I want 4 lanes of iron, and I want 4 lanes of copper. Then I want 2, which is super optimistic, but I'm going to make it as 2 lines of steel. It's actually only going to be 1 line of steel. That's the main part that we want to feed in here. I want to be able to eventually potentially make 8 lines of copper, because 1 line of steel is actually 5 lines. See, this is 5 lines of iron. So if I even get 1 line of steel, it's actually 5 lines of iron. So basically, we want to make room for some more, and we want 1 line of stone bricks, and so that's what we need to make room for in terms of smelting arrays. Oh, and the reason why I went to this location is because we are going to take a lot of this. We're just going to start by making a path that we can take. So this is interesting. I think I want to sort of reserve the space up here and that way. I could also reserve some space here, but there's so many trees down here that it's just going to be an endless nightmare to remove it. I want to make sure that I have some space like this for smelting where I can expand, and then some space out here for a bus, and then some room on the side. Then I can take this coal and feed into the smelting columns. That would be lovely. I can tap this one and this one smelting column to get in here. And I can also bring these up. So I think that's going to be really nice. How do we exactly want to build it? I don't know. I think I want to just start with a line from down all the way down here. I'll just basically arbitrarily set it. I'm not going to make city blocks, in case you were sort of thinking that or wondering or anything like that. I don't want to make it. I mean, of course I want to make city blocks, but I'm not going to. That's the main part. Yes. Oh yeah, since I don't have my mod here. Oh, I can't do that. Ow! Really? My inventory is full of junk. I really want to pick this up. The reason why I want to pick this up is because then I can then I can actually point it in the right direction. Oh, we're gonna take more research. Just keep the research flowing all the time. Now the next, if we want even stronger explosives, then I can't do that yet. But we can take some military science here. That means if we should find some biters, then we will be better equipped to deal with them. So if I place it right now on the middle of the road, then it will keep driving in a straight line. But as soon as I start swerving, you can never get it back to a straight line again. That's just the way it is without a mod. And now we're getting to the issue, and that's going to be lots and lots of trees here. We can bump through some of these trees, but not infinitely many trees. Yeah, stupid trees. We can also get some ammo and just bump into them. There we go. So I'm going to just draw this line up here, because that's going to be our delimitation, and that one I'm not coming through, am I? I could just squeeze through it, couldn't I? I could also do that one. Here. And then start shooting. It works okay to shoot trees. It's just burning through iron to shoot trees. Basically, this is why we want grenades. Grenades are excellent at taking care of trees. Not stones, though. Grenades have to be picked up. Okay. So, basically, all of this, I'm just going to bring it all the way up. Please, no more trees, please. Thank you. Boom. Alright. So, we need to figure out where I want to build. Let's say we start our bus going that way, westbound. This is the main part of our design issue. Okay, that might actually not have been super great. Because then I'll build it on this side or on that side. I think I built it on this side here. Alright, so let's see. What would we want to have? We would want to have some smelting columns. Oh, I forgot to bring stuff. Yeah, this is where... If you have robots, then absolutely. If you have blueprints available, absolutely, without a doubt, use it, because this is super tedious to make. We're gonna do some parts of it, and then we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do after that. Especially just to make sure that you don't misalign it. Even I will misalign it once in a while, and then we ran out. So. And that will come from here in. That side, up, down, here, and out. Now, if I have blueprints, I can start just making this repeated. It's, let's see, the way that I do the copy here. And I'm only doing this so that we can kind of get a sense. We're not going to build it, but we want to get a sense of how many we can do. I'm doing copy, and then I have it in hand. Then I can say, so this would, for example, be 4. This could be, let's say, 4 iron here. And then I could make... So if we want 4 iron, then we're not going to build all of this, by the way. But I want to make sure that we plan for everything. Also, this doesn't really expand outwards very well. So what we could do was now saying, if we have this one, we want some space here between. I think maybe 4 space here is good. That's going to be room for carrying just a line, for example, uranium line past, or stone line, or something like that. Yep, and then we can take this blueprint again, and it has to be aligned to the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And there would be 4 more. And then I could take another one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. And I want more research. Just keep taking these research. These are like super expensive, like 200, and I don't really get much out of it. But so what we could do now is look at this as saying, that could be like copper and iron, but I kind of want to leave this empty, and I want to have this one being iron and then copper down here. Or this one could be steel up here, iron, copper, more copper, And then all the way down there are some stone bricks, which is fine because stone bricks comes from that one. So I want to make sure that I have it pretty well in hand. Let's try that. I was just taking a copy of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Now this can absolutely be done without using blueprints or anything. But when using blueprints like this, we're not going to fill them out. We're just using basically to reserve space. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be, let's mark it. This one will be our steel smelting. Eventually we're building it for the grand size, but not we're not going to build it now. This is one of the key points where we do the planning right now, but we don't exaggerate. And I actually want here, I want to reserve one more space for copper. I think I want that. It's going to be way out in the future, and then I want one more space for stone. Yep, and I'm going to take this one as well. Like this, and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason why I'm making paths, they are super not necessary, but what they do is they allow me to two things. They allow me to separate things very nicely and make a nice base, but it also allows me to drive more easily. And then I want one more. I'm going to get the other blueprint, the first blueprint here. That one. Now, obviously, it's not a great blueprint we have here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. That's going to be stone. So I'm going to mark this as stone. We don't need too much of this, but we need some there. All right. So what all of this only serves one purpose, and that is just pre-allocating space. Now I'm going to go back up and grab my car. We are going to go back and do a massive resupply so that we can start building the most important rows. We'll build 1 iron and 1 copper and probably 1 steel as well. Let's see. Yeah, probably 1 steel as well. In the meantime, we can just, as we go up and down this path, we can just basically clear it out just a bit more every time. Then eventually it'll actually be a nice clear path. There, and while we're at it, let's make all of the... Oh, hello car. Good. Driving back. So, oops. Yeah, typical. And see, it's drifting. Every time you do this, no matter what, you cannot get it to align perfectly. It actually looks like it is aligned right now. All right, so in order for us to do this, we are going to take a lot of stone furnaces. Yes, please. We're going to take, well, I think we have enough of those. We are going to get a lot of yellow inserters because we need those. We're going to take a lot of this. Yes, please. And also all of these. Yes, please. How's this one doing? I am going to change this to be the other one. And then remember from last time, I had reserved some space. Okay. Not actually much. We have 100. How much is this doing? 77. See, that's definitely not enough. However, if I do 200 plus 200, then I can also just create another 200 here. There. That'll get it flowing a bit better. Let's see, we have 1000 there. I think we have all we need. Oh, maybe some lights. Let's see. Now the next research we want to do. Let's unlock the military research. It's going to take a while for us to get military research because at the end of the day, we don't really need it. So we don't have such urgency to do it. That was the lights. Let's take all of them. And down here we have some grenades because that will be handy for us to blow up some trees. I'll also take some blue assemblers or inserters here. Thank you. They're kind of expensive, but we'll take some of those. Great. Do we have what we need? I think we have what we need. Let's start making 1 copper line and 1 iron line up here. We're going to take the copper line right there because that's the closest one, and I'm gonna take, where do we have my grenades? I have those here. Let's take it in this spot and take, nope, that didn't work. All right, let's blow things up. Boom. Unfortunately, at this point we need 2 grenades to clear trees, and if you're really hard pressed for iron and copper, this is probably not the best way to do it, but I find this to be the easiest way in the early game. Actually, long way through the game to clear this. Oh, and we are actually unfortunately out, so I'm just gonna make these with what we have so we can keep going. Pick up, pick up, pick up, and this will now be a valuable addition for the limitation on how we want to build it. One more thing though I want to see is I've built this at a seemingly random distance, and I don't know if I want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. That's fine. But I think the key here is I want to bring them in. Don't ever build on the path. I mean, you can build on the path, but don't do it. Don't do it. I'll come haunt you if you do. And we'll get this one. And we're still handcrafting to our heart's content. And let's build this one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have no idea how many we got. This is why we use the Control C function. And look at it. It's 23. It's 24. Just want to be absolutely sure. 24. Good. 24 will take a full copper lane inbound and a full copper lane outbound. So we want these rows to be full inbound, full outbound. Because this one will actually last us all the way to the end game. That's why it is worth our time to do some investment, because what we do now is this base will be upgraded for sure and expanded for sure, but it will last us all the way to the end game. And that is why it's worth spending the time here. It might seem a bit tedious that we have to do all of these things, but it is, yeah, as I said, totally worth it. This is where, if you want to build this, and this is why for a lot of my series, I usually add some kind of mod that helps me on the early game build, because once you build this a couple hundred times, it's not that interesting anymore. Now, what I mean by this is being expanded, and it's going to be used for the rest of the game. This one is going to give us 1 yellow belt, 15 per second, and I can then build more, so that will give us a total of 60 copper per second in this case, because since you're building copper. However, that's not necessarily enough. I am aware that there's no power, by the way, just in case you're thinking, hey, how are you going to get power? We'll get there. But the thing is, if I upgrade these, you can see here, from stone furnace, they're crafting speed 1, to steel furnace, crafting speed 2, then they can produce twice as fast, but I still don't get materials in fast enough. So if I upgrade these to red, I'm going to get twice as much inbound. So if I upgrade all the furnaces and I upgrade all the belts to red, and then I will have twice as much. Then I'll have a full 30 inbound and a full 30 ore inbound and a full 30 plates outbound. And that will be enough. Then we can have like 30 plus that, so we go up to 120. And if the end of the day we can take 8 of those, and that means we get 240 copper per second, and that should definitely be enough for us in the base we want to do here. So now at this point we don't really need any of them, so I would recommend going into the fluid handling, because that opens up all the oil things. So let's start working on this. Now we built this one, let's start blowing things up again. We want this to be a nice area with nice suburban area full of smelting columns. We don't want any rogue trees here. Unfortunately, we have to pick these up, but that's okay. That'll just become more smelting furnaces for us. So, there. And the next one. This will now go up to the iron, and we're going to clear things as well. There. Just keep it going. We don't know how much, well, I know how much we want to expand it, but you don't know yet. You'll see. Right, so more research. This one's just keep going the research. So we now have unlocked the oil. We don't need this right now, but we have a nice base that can do all the red and green science. So at this point, I always complete all the red and green signs, because then all I can do is just like, yeah, then we're done. Then we don't have to worry about red and green signs for a long time. And what the point of this is, well, that's clearing trees, obviously. Ow. Stings a bit. Alright, so we still have some things to do. I'm going to build one more iron column, and while we do that, then we just spend that opportunity to just self-promote a bit. And I'm going to... I have... well done, sir. Well done. I have a different series on my YouTube channel that was just taking a bit of a break before... while I focused on the 1.0 release. That is a Death World series, so that's where biters take up a pretty sizable part of our gameplay. And that's that has been on pause, but it is coming back stronger than ever. Now it's Spidertrons and all that cool things. And probably should check if that is the same location. I think we need one more. Now the easiest thing if you have blueprints is just you copy this one, because then you can use that as a template. It's going to be exactly the same, and then I know exactly where to build stuff. It is going to be especially... oh yeah, by the way, if you run on belts, you're going to run faster. If you run in the direction of the belt, then you're going to run slower if you run opposite the belt. It's kind of a small... Why? It's a small thing. I'm going to put the blueprint in again. There. And one of the cool things is you can actually just hold down this. You can hold down the what is it called? It's called the left-hand mouse button while dragging like this, and it will then automatically place it at your ghost locations, which means it's super easy to place the real power poles. Hey, research oil processing, nice, woohoo! I did not realize we had achievements in here. Weird, but we do. Research oil processing. Now there's more oil processing. There could be an argument of saying, well, wait until we need them, but I think that one of the points of building this base is just taking care of all of the research before we need it, so that research never becomes, or at least in this case, doesn't become a bottleneck. And that's what we're doing here. So now I was talking about my Death World base. It is continuing. Basically, it is going to start up from launching the first rocket, and then it's going to scale up. So it's going to be completely different from this base. This one is very much the early game and quite a slow progression, while the other one is going to be late game after the first rocket launch, where we scale up to build multiple rockets. That one goes in here. All right, this is good. We do, however, need some power poles. Yes, and whether we take it out from here, from that one in here, or we take it from this. I'm going to take it from this one because we want to reuse, or we want to use our first ones first. Silly. But what we've done is actually a major step forward. Let's go back to the base. And other things that I could mention, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, is that I also have a Patreon account, and that means if anyone should feel like supporting the work I do here on the channel, we all know that living off of ad revenue on YouTube isn't really a thing, at least not for a channel of my size. So that's why I have the Patreon. If anyone wants to support, then I'm very, very happy with it. And as an added bonus, you get access to my save games, and you get access to, to get launched in my other series as we progress. I'm going to pick up all of these here, because we're going to get some big power poles. They reach way further, and that's going to be where how we get power up north. What do we need? Do we need anything? Yes, yellow inserters are the bane of our existence. And research again. At this point, I just want to take like the cheapest research, kind of 200 plus 200, and I'll just make another 200 here. That one, because we're going to need a lot of those. Okay, so planning. Now we have a column here and a column here. What we want to do is bring some copper up and in, bring some iron up and in. We don't know what the biter situation is like, so we should probably get some some radars. We do know there's one over here that we might want to take out, because once these smelting columns start working, they are going to consume more power. I'll also take this one and bring it in all the way up. That's going to be super important as well. Do we have enough underground? I think we'll grab all the undergrounds we can get away with there, because we're going to need them. I'll take all of some more. We'll take all of this as well. Can we? And 100 here. Great. Everything else looks fine, except for the car, which we kind of have lost. Oh dear, where is it? Is it? Oh, it's in my inventory. No worries. There. Should I take this? Flammables are done. It's going to be a bit sort of flickering back and forth. Now we're going to go trains. Don't know exactly about trains in this base, because we actually do have a lot of materials readily available right here that we could tap. So the first thing we want to do is take our big power poles. They're very different. They have a very small footprint, so they are excellent for transporting power further away, but not very good at do I want to make it like this or this? We'll do it this way. Here. And then we just bring it up. Grenade, grenade. As you can see, they can also, now I can also hold it down. Boom, then it places at maximum distance, and it doesn't work when there's other stuff in the way, so. This area just needs to be cleared. Okay, don't kill myself though. There, nice. And keep going up. Oops, that's the line broke. And I think I want to place them at locations such as this. It's way redundant. Why does that one have this? That makes no sense, does it? Why is this one so weird? There, that looks much better. And railway is finished. Let's go more rails. This is where we can build stations. First we can build the rails, then we can build the stations. And finally, at the end, we can also build signals. That's something I feel that's something we should probably have in a tutorial and not just throwing into a series like this. This is important to have it, oops, all the way, because otherwise it doesn't get up to, oh, yeah. And then next time we're going to build massive smelting arrays to get it up there. There you go. What's that? That's the copper one, right? Yeah, that's only the copper. So we still have to make it here. At this point, I don't worry about biters, to be honest. And that's as far up as we need it. We don't need to build anything else. We just need to make sure that anything that comes in can be done. There. And this is not powered, but we can make these here. Great for transporting power. This is just to get some kind of symmetry available here. And oh, look at that. Then we're going to build it right there because that's in the middle. So that looks good. Yeah, that's fine. This is the extra copper thing, so we don't need this for a very long time. Maybe never. We do need it at some point. This is going to be the stone bricks. And from somewhere here, we are going to grab somewhere in that area. We're going to tap this coal. That we can't do right now, but we can at least make sure that when we build stuff, it will be powered. Should I build a... look at the overlay on the minimap to see how much power or how much area it actually covers. This one. And we got automated transportation. We're going to take circuit networks. It's going to be this. We will use it for a few things just to illustrate how it's used. It's more of an advanced feature to sort of do some automatic controls of things. There we go. That's great. And that means also that one should be a good location to build it, to tap it. And I'm going to bring this all the way up to this corner. I Look at us building like nice little build here. And reach right in the middle, these two locations. Boom and boom. And I'm gonna get that one and that one. Sweet. And this might be where I want my dwarf horde. Nope. How many do we have? We still have 18, so that's perfect. I'm gonna take that one. Whoa, incorrect. And on the way back, we can take it into the middle. And let's look again. If we get all the way up there, then we get much better coverage. Yes, that's very nice. Circuit network completed. Look at us, how well the defenses here are, sorry, research. This is the power of the jumpstart base. It'll take care of all the red and green signs. It's just chugging along. It'll get there. We can come back and take all the things we need to build our base, and it'll just happily provide for us. This is all the way up here by the steel. We have to remember that when we destroy trees, it also destroys the capability of the environment to absorb pollution. That means it's going to spread faster out here. When we take this one out, I don't think we have any pollution up here yet. But our pollution is increasing. Oh, that's interesting. We're probably going to hit that one very soon. And when we hit this one, let's look at pollution P for here. So they're not being hit by pollution, but they will very, very soon. And when they get hit by pollution, they'll start forming attack formations, and they'll send attacks in towards us, and then we're gonna regret not dealing with it in time. Anyway, I think this is a great place to sort of wrap this one up here. We can do the steel later on, but I think the first thing we want to do is get the iron and copper as well as the coal operational, so we can get those and build our bus. The bus will be going right here and inwards that way. I think it here might be just a bit too close to the water. I don't know if it goes up. I could imagine that it goes up like, oh, look at that. Nice 101 coal. That's going to be great when we tap that. And I'm going to remove this overlay. So you can see our footprint of our base has gotten way bigger right now. And it's starting to look like something, right? It's starting to feel more like we are planning a real base and not just small things. And this is one of the things that I know that a lot of startups will never do. This is planning for the next 50 hours instead of just planning for the next 5 hours or 2 hours or 55 minutes. But by doing this, we don't have to redo so many things, and we'll have plenty of space, and there will be no spaghetti mess anywhere. So you can do this too, and I think that we've now sort of illustrated what kind of thought process you need to go into in order to get something that's going to be nice and structured. It's expandable, it is upgradable, and it has a nice structure to it. So with that, we're going to leave this one here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the series or are enjoying the series. If you are, hit the like button. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to the YouTube algorithm apparently, in terms of sort of visibility and sharing it to other people as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, maybe consider doing that now. It's lots of Factorio on this channel, so if you like this, maybe you'll like some of the other stuff that's coming. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care and stay effective.